over Glenn.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Midday Market Update, the first stream we get for the week to get you prepared for the week. My name is Glenn, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here, glad to have you here. If you can hear me loud and clear, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. And Bill, already starting to steal my thunder. Today is absolutely right, Bill. We have now hit an all-time high on the VectorVest composite. The last all-time high was on 11/8 of 2021, and we hit a high at that point of $71.28. Thank you, Todd. Ow, that's hot. Todd brought some coffee from Cafe Bustelo.
And you're surprised it's hot.
I'm surprised it's hot.
You should make iced coffee.
Well, no, I don't. Thank you, buddy. So I got my Cafe Bustelo going on. Todd took care of that for me. So I'm glad to hear that I'm glad to see that everybody can hear me, and we're gonna rock and roll. These are the stocks that I'm gonna get you prepared for the week. You know, anything can happen within the week's time, but I've got this live stream, and then tonight, my top weekly stock picks for both the U.S. and Canada. Happy Columbus Day as well. All right, present, my bad, Thunder. No, you're here. I know you're trying to take my thunder, bro. You're trying to take my thunder. But that's a good thing for the market. I got a lot of news to talk about, and I do have a special guest today, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And of course, I'll look at some of your stocks as we go along. Now, we're looking at the market. Two more green lights today in the price column and in the buy to sell ratio. Still, the predominant color is yellow. I never want you guys to ever lose sight of that. Market comes up, the market comes down, but the predominant color you see is yellow, so you still need to be cautious. But on a day like today, the market's moving up. I love that the market's moving up. Talking about a nice ad for coffee lovers, man. I need somebody out there who's got some connects to hook me up with Cafe Bustelo as much as I promote them on the live streams. Is SoFi a buy today? Guess what, Fred? SoFi is on my list, and I'm going to show you why today. SoFi is on my list of stocks. Bitcoin is on my list today as well. You know, I always try to get you started with the most pertinent news on Mondays, and some of the things that you're bringing up with some things that have already caught my attention that we will talk about today. Santalal says, hi, Glenn, you are the best. No, I'm just a guy. And I'm just appreciative of all the support that VV Nation gives to me. All right, so I'm going to start off with some news real quick before I bring my guest on. I'm going to get into the software, and I want to take a look at, put me on to, there you go. Why is my picture not, there you go. Today, Joey is off, so I've got Clay in the background, Clay R in the background, hooking me up, so I appreciate that. Here is the VectorVest composite. Remember, for those of you who are brand new, the VectorVest composite is an indicator that tracks the move of over 9,000 stocks. I want to show you something here. How many of you have been watching my series on Fridays, my technical series? We've gone through a lot of things, and I'm going to start to incorporate type of 1 if you've been watching that series, type of 2 if you have not seen that Friday series at all. Nice way to go, Joy. We got us a super chat, $3 super chat. Type the W's in the room for the super chat. Got to love that. What a way to start off the session. So when I'm looking at the market overall, the VVC, I can see that we're in a trend line. We've talked about trend lines. Look at that. That tells me until the market breaks down below that trend line, we've got some more legs to the upside. Plain and simple. So no matter what you hear on the news, no matter what everybody's telling you, this is a great way to see what the overall market is doing without having to have your head on the swivel wondering what to do. All right, so with that being said, for everybody who typed a 2 in the room, man, I've got to invite you. It is on the channel every Friday for the past 4 weeks. I've talked about technical indicators, and my video this week was all about the 3 go-to technical charts that I looked at. Hopefully that does change your lives. I told you that in the alert that these were life-changing graphs, and I think no matter what kind of stock you're looking at, these 3 go-to technical graphs are a beautiful way to determine when to take profits, when to be out of the stock, when to get into the stock. So keeping that in mind. So overall, there it is. From August 1st or so of 2024 until right now, the market is definitely going up. Now, wait a minute. Joy, I need a stock. Joy, I need a stock so that I can take a look at for you right now. You know that's how that works. For every time we get a super chat, I will take a look at your stock live on the spot. So, and Bill says, must watch YouTube's. Thank you. What time frame did you draw your trend line? I connected my trend line from a low to the most recent level. That's it. This is just, I'm on a 3-month graph, so the majority of this 3-month graph is this trend line. And there it is in a nutshell. There it is in a nutshell. But Joy, I'm looking for a stock specifically from Joy right now for the super chat. Clay, keep your eyes on the chat to see if it pops up. All right. Now, let's talk about a little bit of news that's moving the market in this direction. And let's go start off with futures muted earnings this week. A lot of earnings coming up this week. My big story from this story was Boeing was cutting jobs. Did you know that Boeing cut 17,000 positions? That's a lot of jobs to cut. Now, Mark says, where can I find these Friday trading videos? They're on our YouTube. Hey, Clay, did you put them in as a playlist? That would be cool. Did you put them in as a playlist? Because if you did,
I did not, but I can set them up as a playlist.
I think that Clay is going to set them up as a playlist for every video that I've done over the past 4 weeks, specifically about technical analysis and how to better use it. Is this talk show live? Of course that was Mark. Of course it is. It is live. So starting off the week, Boeing making big news. That's big news. Now, a lot of companies, because of high inflation and interest rates and everything, a lot of companies have been cutting jobs. If you follow me on Twitter, I've been putting out a lot of those cuts on Twitter. All right. To find me on Twitter, just look for my full name, Glenn Tompkins Jr. You can follow me on Twitter. I put a lot of information out on Twitter. All right. So that was my big story. And interesting, the other side of the big story is the Chinese stock. Yang is up, which is the contra for the Chinese stocks. Why? Because China is diddle-daddling in dispersing the funds for stimulus because they're going to wait until after the election. So Chinese stocks were on the rise as soon as they did a 50 basis cut to stimulate the economy. They are not giving out the money. They're not giving out the money. Roger, what did Roger say? Roger said something. Roger says CLS December calls up 60%. Do you know CLS was one of my top picks for 2024? Did you know that? We're going to take a look at that today. Well, that's one of my top picks. I think it was CLS or CRS, one of the two, for 2020. No, it was Carpenter. It was CRS. But we've talked about CLS as well. All right, another story real quick, and this is interesting. The Dow is the Dow is running hot. History says that's usually a good sign. So we'll take a look at that. And one more story. BlackRock hits $11.5 trillion in assets under management. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money under management. So BlackRock is on my list today. All right. So with that, Clay, put me and my guest on. My guest today is going to be Ron Wheeler. Everybody type a 1 in the room for Ron Wheeler. Give him a little hand clap for that. That's our way of giving hand claps. And he's doing something called the Options Paycheck course. But before we get into the Options Paycheck course, he is giving a free webcast, a free online webcast, free, on how to generate 3% a month with one option trade per week. Ron, one, thank you for being here, my friend. And number two, introduce yourself and talk a little bit more about what the workshop is all about and what the Options Paycheck is all about.
All right, thank you, Glenn. And so, yep, every quarter or so, we launch the Options Paycheck Plan. And what the whole idea behind the Options Paycheck Plan is, it's simply this. You know, all the things that Glenn talks about, all of the things that make stocks good, we use option trades on them. And, you know, you take the core VectorVest, you take the good RS stocks, you take the good stocks that are moving up when the market's moving up, take those stocks and apply a higher probability trade with a lower upfront cost. And that's a credit spread. So I consider myself an options trader. I've been trading now for 27 years. And I was actually, while I was kind of listening to Glenn talk, well, number one, I went back and looked at VectorVest because Glenn said we had 2 green lights. I did a live SPX class this morning. We only had 1 green light. So I'm like, sweet, we got 2 green lights now. The BSR is up. But what I do is I take all these stocks and I basically just do options trades on them. I've been doing this now for about 12 years. And, you know, it really has made my trading so much easier. Options trades have so many advantages to them. Number one is they are a fixed risk item. So you can only lose so much money on these trades. You don't really have to, make sure that you're managing it. If the market, well, you still have to manage it, but you don't have to make sure you're keeping a super close eye on it because there is a limited risk. There's a limited gain. So one of the hardest parts about trading for me is when I was a day trader is, well, when do I get out of the trade? With an option spread, you have a maximum risk. So we get out of the trade, we take our profits, and if we think the stock's going to go up, we just do another trade. It's a really easy way for you to take advantage of a good market movement, whether it's bullish, whether it's bearish. It's really just a good way to create income based on, a limited amount of money up front. It adds probability because what we do is we'll take a stock and let's say, what's a good stock right now?
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA, right? What's NVIDIA trading for right now? I'm going to look it up on my screen. So here's what I would do on NVIDIA. Now, you don't have to follow along. You don't have to be an option expert on this by any stretch of the imagination, right? So NVIDIA is trading at, and if you see me looking at, I'm looking at my other screen. NVIDIA is trading at 138 right now, right? Now, if you think NVIDIA is going to go up, here's what we do. Now, this is, by the way, what we're going to show you in these workshops that we're doing, how we trade options using this. So when a stock is bullish, what we do is we sell puts on them. You might have seen people do this, right? You sell puts on a stock that you think is going to go up with the idea that, hey, if it goes up, great, you make money on that put that you sold. If it goes down, well, no worries. I can just buy the stock at a discounted price. Big difference here, though. We're never going to buy the stock. We're just in this trade for NVIDIA to go up, sideways, whatever. We're going to collect our profits, and then we're going to move on. If NVIDIA goes down, we're going to exit the trade and take a small loss. Now, right now, the reason I like this trading is this. NVIDIA is at 138. I'm looking at a trade right now on NVIDIA, and let's see, sell. Okay, that's too close. Bear with me while I do this kind of with you guys. So 130. All right, that's good. And let's do a 125. Perfect. Okay, so if I think NVIDIA is going to go up, let me kind of explain how this works. I'm going to sell right now a November 15th 130 put, right? For that option, I'm going to collect $388. Now, I don't sell naked options because naked options carry a lot of risk, right? The stock could go way down. You're left with a huge loss. So what we do is we do what's called the vertical credit spread. As I sell a 130, I'm going to simultaneously buy a 125.
All right, I just lost audio, Clay. Ron?
I'll wait.
There you go.
Can you
I
hear me
got you.
still?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So what I was explaining was NVIDIA right now is 138. What I would go out and NVIDIA do, and I would sell a 130 put. Now again, naked option, bad, lot of risk. Simultaneously, I'm going to buy a 125. This gives me a $5 risk. That's the most I could lose on this trade. Now, what I've done is I've created a scenario. It's called the bull put vertical credit spread. Over the next 32 days, it doesn't even take that long. These average trades last about 7 to 10 days. As long as NVIDIA stays above 130, the stock's at 138. All I need to do to make money on this trade is it's got to stay above 130. That's it. You're giving yourself an $8 cushion to make money on NVIDIA. Now, when it's all said and done, my goal for this trade is to make about $65 a contract. So you might think, well, $65 is not a lot of money. So you trade 10 contracts. You make $650 if the trade goes right. Now, here's another cool thing. I sold a 130 put. Now, keep in mind, the whole idea behind this trade is I don't want to actually own NVIDIA. It's a good stock, don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with owning it. My goal is to create an income stream from this. So, like any other trade, you're going to have a profit target. I just told you, you're going to make 65 bucks per contract. You're also going to have a stop in place. So, if NVIDIA drops below $130 a share, you're going to exit this options trade. If you do that, your risk is going to be about $70. Now, you might look at that and say, okay, Ron, I can make 65, I can lose 70. That's not really that good. Well, if you are a buyer, you're right. Making $65 on a winning trade and losing $70 on a losing trade is bad, right? You're going to have to be very correct on this. But think about this. All the stock has to do is stay above 130. This is what we talk about probability. This trade, and again, these are things that we cover in our workshop and in our full options paycheck class. This trade has roughly a 66%
Delta.
statistical probability of making money. 66%. So if you make $65 66% of the time and you lose $70, 34% or 34% of the time, you're going to come out ahead. And the cool part is this trade only would cost you about $400 in margin. That's it. It's $400 to place this trade. You don't have to go out there and buy 100 shares of NVIDIA where it's going to cost you like 13 grand. It's a very inexpensive trade that anybody can do. It increases your probability. When you do it right, it immensely limits your risk. This has been the hallmark of what I've done here at VectorVest now for the past, well, I'll be here 10 years in February. So it's the hallmark of what I've done here for the past almost decade at VectorVest. That's why the paycheck class, which I've been doing now and which I run in the Ultimate Retirement Solution, my weekly coaching, it's why it's been so popular. We take those good VectorVest stocks that you all know, you all love, and we apply a low-cost, high-probability option trade on them. And again, it's a trade that anybody can take. That's why it's been so popular.
Question is, what is credit premium?
Credit premium. So the way this works is the difference between like a credit and a debit. When you buy something, right, you have to pay for it. So when you do a credit, it's kind of interesting that the money comes to you. So when I place this trade, I actually get paid. My account, let's say my account is $1,000, right? I place this trade and my account will go from $1,000 to about $1,133. I actually get paid. Now, the big misconception, if you will, and this is what you're going to see a lot of, I see this advertisement on Facebook all the time where, you can make $400 on NVIDIA or whatever in 30 seconds. You're not making the $400.
Right.
What they're telling you is you're selling an option and you're collecting $400. Well, that's great, but you still have a trade on. You still are short an option that at some point you have to cover. It's like when you sell a stock. You don't just sell a stock and, oh, I sold 100 shares of NVIDIA and I collected 13 grand. No, it doesn't work that way. You at some point have to exit the trade. So the way this works is when you enter a trade, they pay you. When you exit the trade later on, you have to actually pay. My goal is if I collect $150 when I place a trade, my goal is to pay back half of that when I exit. So I want to pay the broker back, let's say 75. That means I keep the 75, my trade is over, and I profited $75 on that position. That's the basic way a credit spread works, or, like any option sell for that matter. Don't fall into that trap of, I sold an option, I made money. No, you sold an option, now you have a trade on. Now your profits depend on what the price of that option does in the future. Can go up, can go down. You have to exit the trade at some point. That's how you make your money.
So, Clay, put the screen up with Ron and I. What I have right now is a link, and Clay, type in, fungus. I think it's vectorvest.com/paycheck. Type that in the chat for me, please. This is a free online workshop. It's going to start, I believe, Wednesday, the 16th, right?
Correct.
At 4:30, is it 4:30 or 5? 5. I lost his volume again, Clay. There we go, I think. Say something, Ron.
5 o'clock?
5 o'clock on Wednesday. is the first one. And as you can see in this promo here, how to generate, and I'm sure a lot of people out there want to do this, how to generate 3% per month. You know what? That's 36% a year just on one option trade per week, on top of what you already do in the stock market. 3% a month trading one option trade per week. In that link, you'll see what I'm looking at right now. Click on reserve my seat. It's going to be in 3 days, 5 hours, 9 minutes, and 32 seconds. You're going to see the major mindset shift, the 3 biggest mistakes, because a lot of people don't like options for one reason or another, and there's a lot of it because you don't understand it. Excuse me for 1 second. Excuse me. A lot of people don't know how to or are confused about it. But most people think, this includes you, a simple strategy to profit for them. How to trade with very little risk, which is, options were designed to be a lot less riskier than stocks. I think that's another misnomer. A lot of people say, oh, options are more risky. They are designed to be less riskier than stocks. And Ron will end it up with the bulletproof 5-step system. So, folks, if nothing else, it is free. It is free. Click on reserve my seat, and Ron will be there starting this Wednesday, but I wanted him to get on today. I wanted him to get on today to give you guys a means of being able to prepare for it. Just take a minute right now. Click on the link that Clay put in the chat. Everybody do it, please. Click on the link, reserve my seat, and it's free. It is free 99. There's no, look at that. Mr. Boilerman says, I took the course. Mr. Boilerman, did you make money? Lisa says, is it for advanced traders? That's a good question, Ron. Is this for only advanced traders?
No, not at all. And that's one of the reasons why it's been so popular. I start the class out assuming that you don't know options. So, for the first session or two, if you actually sign up for the whole curriculum, you might, if you're an experienced option trader, you might find it boring. Because we're going to explain to you what a call is, what a put is, what some of the terms are, like in the money and out of the money and delta and things like that. So I try to design the course with the beginner in mind, somebody that's never traded an option before, and I try to take you through step by step. So this course is designed to not only help you find good stocks to trade, because I want to teach you how to do this. Not only just, hey, here's a credit spread, but how do you find the stock? How do you look at these options? What do you need to know about them to place the trade? So it really is designed for a beginner, but then of course, even somebody that's had option experience in the past can kind of skim through those first 2 sessions and get right into the meat of the credit spread. So it's designed kind of for everybody.
All right. Thank you for that question. Good. I'm a beginning. I'm definitely going. Way to go, Jen. All right. So Clay, put us back both on again. What I want you guys to do, again, in that link that Clay put in there, I want you guys to click on that link, reserve your seat. It's free. VV Nation, go support him. Go take a listen. If you like it, sign up. If you don't, that's fine. But give him a listen. And are there people out there that will do this for you? I guess, but we won't. That's the only way I'm going to answer that question. I guess there is, but we won't. Ron, would you apply Profit Locker on options so as to protect myself if I'm not glued to the computer?
It's going to be, I'll be honest, it's going to be hard. You can't really use Profit Locker on an option. It's not going to be compatible. But I have used the stops of Profit Locker on options positions, but it's all manual. Basically, if the computer says to get out because it hit a Profit Locker stop, you still have to go to your broker. Now, one of the things I will tell you, if you're in that position, I would recommend a broker like Thinkorswim, or, well, it's not really the broker. Schwab's the broker, but they have Thinkorswim, right? Or Interactive Brokers. Those 2 brokers have it where we can create orders that would, I don't want to say automate, but I've created kind of a way to do stop losses on my options trades with Thinkorswim and IB to where it's about 90 to 95% effective. If not, I can still get an alert to tell me I need to exit a trade, but we put stops and stop losses in for our options trades now, and it's got about a 90 to 95% effectiveness.
There you go, Paul.
We've got it down pretty well.
There you go. All right. Put us just on the screen, Clay. All right. Ron, 1, thank you for being here. 2, thank you for answering questions. 3, I look forward to everybody who's here, who's interested in options, to at least attend the free workshop. It's free. Can we practice in simulator on TOS, Ron?
Yes. Yep. They have a nice paper trading system.
Oh,
to work
look
with.
at that there, Jen. Woo-wee. All right. So with all of that being said, Ron, do you have anything else that you want to add?
Nope, I don't think so. Just like you said, give it a shot, see what you think of it. It's a free webinar to introduce the idea. And like I said, it's been very popular. I've been teaching this at VectorVest now for 8 years. And it's a class that, we've gotten great feedback on. And it's a great way for anybody to get in there and really try options in a good way, not just go out there and try to buy a call or try to buy a put. A limited risk, easy way to do it, to where, you can trade these big dollar companies for just a little bit. Take advantage of it.
All right. Again, Ron, thank you for being here, my friend. You're welcome here. And every time you come on, I say, I need to take a day, one of my live streams, so that you can just come here. And for those people who are interested in options, to just go through a gambit of questions, just an options day for those people who are interested. How many of you would be interested in having an options live stream? One of my live streams is an options live stream. Type a 1 in the room. How many of you would be interested where Ron could really just come and talk about a lot of different trades and answering your questions about trades? I'm sure I'm going to see a lot of 1s in here. And if that's the case, Ron, we seriously do need to sit down and talk about a day where I just do a live stream, but it really is options oriented. Yeah. Okay.
I'm game.
Okay, so as long as there are drawings, well, we could share Ron's screen, or he can give me slides, or something that's logistics. We can work around that. All right, with that, Ron, thank you again for being here, my friend. Have a great day, and
Thank
everybody
you.
go to the link that's pinned in the chat. All right, all right. Clay is setting back up the screen again. Put me on my beginning screen. Here, nope, right below it. Yep. All right. So, thank you again for Ron being here. I think we will start to seriously look into whether it's it might be, most have to be a trending Thursday. We'll see. We will see. All right. So, no, thanks, Glenn, for doing that. Listen, my job is not only to help on our YouTube side, but I want to talk about all of the instructors that we have and all of the courses that they're presenting, and give you opportunities to take a listen to them. All right, so, all right, now put me back into the stories. I'm going to finish up on my stories. All right. The last story was BlackRock. Here's another one. Joy, I got your stocks. I'm gonna get you in a second. I got your stocks. MicroStrategy. So this is from a Bitcoin scenario. Hits its highest level relative to Bitcoin since 2019. We're going to take a look at MicroStrategy. Trading at its highest level relative to the flagship crypto since Wolf Research managing director says he loves MicroStrategy's chances to get out and continue climbing. But that the stock is overbought in the near term, he suggested Bitcoin hedge. So we're going to look at MicroStrategy. TSM, that's one of your stocks that you wanted, Joy. TSM plans more chip plants in Europe, and they have earnings coming up. So I love that Taiwan Semi is reaching out globally. I did another story last week on them reaching out across the globe. That's going to be huge for them, along with earnings coming up as well. Goldman Sachs says analyst updates NVIDIA stock price target as AI grips tightens. NVIDIA, which has added around $780 billion in market value since early September, overtook Microsoft as the world's second most valuable stocks. And guess what? It's going for Apple. Will NVIDIA, which I call what? The hottest stock on the planet? Powerhouse stock, hottest stock on the planet. Will it go back up to number one? Remember, it got hit? But man, look at the resiliency in NVIDIA. I'm still trading NVDL. I've only got two stocks right now, NVDL and Palantir. Only two stocks I have right now. And man, I'm up 60%. on one and about 20% on another. So I'm happy. Someone asked me about SoFi. SoFi stock climbs after forging a $2 billion loan platform agreement with Fortress. SoFi jumped 6% on Monday. And the digital bank announced a $2 billion loan platform for personal loans with funds managed by affiliates of Fortress Investment Group. You know what else they did? They offered 2 new credit cards. All right, SoFi offered 2 new credit cards for points and for, what is it? When you do that kind of stuff, rewards. So those 2 things, SoFi is on the rise. All right, what did Asa say? Asa said something. I'm in MicroStrategies at $133 and loving it. I'm right now, I don't like crypto, but when it gives you an opportunity to make money, I'm all over it. All right. Here's another one. Lithium. Rio Tinto's real prize, Arcadium's lithium extraction technology. Rio did a buyout of Arcadium, brings access to lithium technology. Direct lithium extraction, DLE, could grow to $10 billion annual industry. Rio CEO thinks DLE could supply much of the world's lithium. How about that? We don't have to go outside of the country to get it. I don't think this is one of the rare earth metals that we have a problem with. I think we got a lot of digging we can do here. And analysts see Rio's paying premium for Arcadium's DLE expertise. So Arcadium had technology that Rio bought, which adds to their ability to pull lithium up. All right, so, oh man. 2 last stories. Berkshire Hathaway further boosts Sirius with an $87 million share purchase. Ooh, Sirius is going to be hey, is that Patrick Mahomey? My homeboy? Patrick, my homeboy? That looks like Patrick, my homeboy. I listen to Sirius in the car. I've got all my Sirius stations on, or is it? Yeah, I got all my Sirius, but this is big. Normally, when Warren Buffett puts money behind something, it's a bolster for it. Rio is already a solid mining stock, and ALTM acquisition will help its price go higher big time. That's why it's one of my stories. HIMS is up and rising also. Jazz, I saw a story on it. I wasn't all that about the story. Try Pandora. I got Pandora. I'm a DJ. I got Pandora. I got Tidal. I got Spotify. I got all of that. I got all of those. It was interesting because I did a gig this week for Spike Ball Championship. It was worldwide. So I had people from Europe asking me for songs that I couldn't play on my setup because it wasn't set up, but I could Bluetooth them to my speakers, and they were all over the place. I played them. They were like, it was like a soccer game. It was huge. It was huge. So, but I have Pandora, I have Spotify, I have Tidal, all of those platforms when I'm DJing. So if I have to Bluetooth it, I can. Earnings this week, a lot of big earnings coming out. I've got them in a list, but looking at ASM, ASML, TSMC, Netflix, Alcoa, Morgan Stanley, more banks reporting this week. CSX Trucking. I got so many stocks. A lot of big banks are reporting this week, so we'll see. You have Sirius subscription because of Howard Stern. Howard Stern ain't all that no more. He just ain't. Rising in an appropriate title for an article about the company. Surfer Boy, I saw the story. I just wasn't all that big about it. Prakash says, bad buy for Berkshire. Really? On Sirius? Well, we're going to take a look at it. So now these are all of my stories that made the news. Let's go take a look at them in the software. Look at this. Nice high today. No wick at the top of the candle. Nice open candle. The market just has legs. Right now, the market just has legs. Let's go to the indices. All the major indices are up. We're pulling back on the volatility on the VIX. People are less fearful and more greedy. Well, the market's going up. It's time to be greedy. Time to be greedy. Just don't be over greedy. Big news stocks. Let's take a look at these. Oh, as I do this, let's go do this for joy and pain, like sunshine and rain. So you do know, Joy, I am on the bearish side of Tesla. I'm in the TSLQ. Interesting. You said you loaded up on Tesla. You know something? Let's still go back to my Friday video series. What do I got going on? I got trend lines. Look at this. Look at where Tesla is. This is why I'm bearish on Tesla. If you load it up, how about let's wait until Tesla gets above that 222.31. I'm looking at the MPI, actually, and then I'm fine with that. I'm looking at the MPI. I'm not ready to be bullish on Tesla yet. I'm holding TSLQ in a different portfolio, Lisa. Not in my main portfolio. My main portfolio only has 2 stocks, which is Palantir and NVDL. But if you're looking at getting into Tesla, I really need it, Joy. Let's get above that 222.31 before I'm ready to jump on that. I'm not ready to jump on that yet. All right. Let's go to another stock you wanted. Going into earnings, Taiwan Semi. I'm going to put this on a 1-year graph. Remember my 3 favorite graphs, my 3 go-to graphs? Long-term, Taiwan Semi looks good. I got trend, I got trigger, I got a new high. Man, now you're going to see as we go forward, if you haven't watched Friday's video, my 3 go-tos, you need to go watch it because I'm going to start applying a lot of that into the stocks that we're looking at for you guys. Do you have any good earnings plays for this week? Asa, I'm going to come to that in a second. All right, but Taiwan Semi going into earnings, I feel good about it. Where's relative safety? Add a parameter. Let's go look at relative safety is at 1.45. I'm strongly on board with they're going to beat earnings. Let's go look at add parameter. Let's go look at earnings growth. Earnings growth is at 18. Earnings per share. Yeah, I think they're going to beat on both. Nicely running higher. TSM in a hot space with semiconductors along with NVIDIA and AMD and all that kind of stuff. AI is still a hot space. I'm all for it. Akshaya says, C-Russ is the same as TSM. Didn't make my list today. So I'm going to stick to the stocks that made my list today, Akshaya. All right. So that, again, you know how I work, Akshaya. I got it. I could look at every stock that's out there, but I ain't got the time to do that, right? So TSM is on there for a couple of reasons, because of the news on the stock and because of earnings this week. And because Joy wanted to take a look at it. And the last one, Bank of America. Even long term, look at this. I got waffling, looking at the MPI. I've got waffling in trend or not. I'd be careful with Bank of America. Relative safety is at 1.24. This is what concerns me. Earnings growth rate is at 1. Now, I love the earnings. Where's earnings per share? I love the earnings per share. I love the bottom left to the top right. But I'd be careful going into earnings. Does that make sense, Joy? I'd be careful going into earnings. Oh, didn't they already? Wait a minute. This one is not earnings. I got earnings coming up. I do. When was the last earnings? 7/16, 8, 9, 10/16. Oh, it should be coming up this week. Was it on my list? It should be coming up as well. All right. So, yeah, I'm with you, Pennywise. Bank of America does look shaky, and Berkshire did dump a lot of shares of Bank of America. All right, so Joy, there's your stocks for you. All right, let's go back to my viewers, and now you're talking about earnings. Let's go look at earnings. Where are my big plays for earnings this week? No, Palantir has good days and bad days. Palantir has a lot more good days than bad days. When I'm looking at the stocks that are coming up for earnings, what I'm going to use is the VectorVest indicator, relative safety. The stocks that have the high relative safeties are going to have the highest probability of meeting or exceeding earnings. Now, from the revenue side, I'm looking at double-digit earnings growth. Which stocks do I have the most faith will beat revenue? Progressive, Netflix, American Express, Intuitive Surgical, because these are double-digit earnings growth. Where's Bank of America? Look at that. From a revenue perspective, I'm not sure. Looking at all of these banks that are coming up from a revenue perspective, I'm not sure. Now, this is not revenue. This is earnings growth, but I think it's the closest thing that we have to forecasting revenue. Yeah, and I tread lightly when I said that. I tread lightly when I say that. But stocks that have earnings growth rate in double digits are probably going to have a higher probability of meeting earnings. Is that 100%? No, because anything can happen with the stock as they go through forward guidance. I got nothing for forward guidance. I got nothing for forward guidance. But Intuitive Surgical is a hot stock. It's been a hot stock. Let's go back to relative safety. I love, and Dr. DeLito, that was one of his favorite stocks as well, way back in the day. So Netflix is going to depend on how many customers they gained or lost. Always United Health is a good altogether stock, fundamentally sound. RT is just above 1 earnings growth rate. Earnings growth rate though, not double digits. I love the idea of putting the earnings coming up for the week and doing my VectorVest analysis to give me some insight. For those people who are new to the channel, did that analysis give you some insight as to where you would put your money for earnings? Not only people that are new to the channel, for everybody that's in the room, did this analysis help in giving some insight as to what the probabilities are between beating earnings and beating revenues? All right, can you show how you built this search? Mac Daddy, I went to Twitter in all actuality. I did this from Twitter. I have a site that I look at called Earnings Whisper, and it shows me all of the stocks that are reporting this week. And I just make a list of the most highly named stocks in the list. That's what I do. All right, that's it in a nutshell. All right, and every time we have a live stream and I'm looking at earnings, that's what I look at. All right, so the analysis is there to give you guys some insight. For those of you who are not subscribers to the software and you want this kind of insight, if you go to www.vectorvest.com/YT, you can get a 30-day subscription, trial subscription for like $9.95. And I did the same thing I did. I took Twitter. I looked at the earnings coming up for the week. I put them into a list, and I just threw some VectorVest behind it to help give me some insight. All right. Strong optional picks. I think I only had one stock that I looked at for you from an optional standpoint. The stock was TRP. I looked at the open interest. I like the stock. That's only stock that I had for you today. Where's the money going today? Here's my own heat map. Why does VV raise the stop price on SIRE? It's because if the stock, let's go, did I have Sirius in here? I might have. Let's go see. Made the news. Why did it raise the stock? Wow, look at the stock's price. Look at that. Berkshire Hathaway threw some money into it. Now, you said that it was a bad play for Berkshire. Noticing that, let's go take a look at the graph. View the stock graph. If the fundamentals of the stock are good, what did you say? Why did it raise? If the fundamentals are good, the stop will be raised. Let's go put this on a VectorVest layout. There's the stop. The stop. All right, so the stop came down because it wasn't all that good. Now, we just went from a sell to a hold. That was news driven because of what Berkshire did. To say that the stock is not a good play, if I trade off the chart, not my heart, stock isn't all that great. The news today pushed it above the downtrend. It's been up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. I would really look for RT to go above 1. If RT goes above 1, that would show me it's got more legs to the upside. The volume is there. All right, so the news today, volume is higher than it has been over the last few days. I'm not going to call it a bad play. Let's go take a look at the value. Is the stock under or overvalued? You know that Berkshire likes to buy undervalued stocks. This could be a value play. This could be a value play. So, Prakash, if I can see RT get above 1, that may not be a stupid play. And Warren Buffett likes value plays. The stock is currently undervalued. We'll see. All right, we'll see if it pans out to be a good play. I like that it broke through the downtrend. I like the rise in volume. I am going to say I would wait. I would wait for RT to go above 1. RT is sitting at 0.73. Could you jump now on the news? Absolutely. You're going to be more of an aggressive player. If I want more confirmation, Prakash, that this could turn out to be a good play, I'd use VectorVest and look for RT to go above 1. Do you think Tesla stock will reach 290 by December? I don't know. Let's go look at Tesla. I don't know. Put this on a 1-year graph. I don't know. What's the high? The high here is 270. I don't think so. Unless something turns around drastically, I don't think it hits 290 by the end of the year. All right, Prakash says, let's watch and see series. Yeah, I'm with that. And you know, Prakash, what's today's date? Somebody write down today's date for me so that when we look at what Sirius is done, let's reference the date. Everybody on board for that? Everybody on board for that? Type a yes or a no. Write down the date. So the next time we look at Sirius, let's go see if this ended up being a good play or not, if Warren Buffett made a good trade or not. Thoughts on Sound Surfer Boy? Hold on. All right, we're going to see. Prakash, you just held my feet to the fire, and let's go see if I get burnt. All right? You held my, and I'm all right with that. You held my feet to the fire. Remember, when we look at Sirius, we got to reference the right date, which is, all right, hold on. Well, I'm going to do that. I like that idea. 1014. Track from 1014. I like that. Where's it at? Note. Good play on that. Thank you. Track from, would be nice if I spelled it right, from 1014. There we go. Okay. It's on there. It's on there. So anytime, Prakash, you bring up Sirius, when you bring up Sirius, we got it on the graph. Because none of y'all going to remember. I know it. This is VV Nation. You're my peoples. I know you're not going to remember the date, or I'm going to get 17,000 freaking dates. It's on the graph now. All right, and put a vertical line on to date. All right, we'll do that too. Listen, y'all are all up on this. Y'all are all up on this. Not that one. Let's go vertical line right here. Oh, let's go draw it. On the date. There you go, 1014. Look at that. Look at that. I know, Janice, we be old. And everybody's Janice is going to say, she'll jump in and go, no, Glenn, it's 1014. And Jazz will go, well, no, Glenn. No. We're not having that. All right? We're not having that. Phenomenon. Do. Phenomenon. Do. All right, let's go. Let's go give you some fish. No, I want to see where the money's going first. Let's go see where the money's going first. Where's all the money? This is our heat map. This is my makeshift heat map. Where's the money going today? So, natural gas. The bearish side of natural gas. The bearish. And from the Bitcoin side, look at that. IBIT on the rise. Let's click on that. IBIT on the rise. That's one of my, if I'm going to take a crypto, I do like IBIT. I like that it just broke through this level of resistance at 36.46, moving up. It's moving on up. Let's go look at one of my three go-tos. Let's go look at one of my three go-tos, the 3.8. Oh, look at that. It kicked off on Friday. All right, so you know me, I'm not a fan of crypto. But I got a recent crossover. I'm not going to say no to this. Not only did we get the 3.8 crossover on Friday, we got the breakthrough resistance. I got a little bit of wick at the top. RT just went above 1. I like the play. Glenn, what would you buy BlackRock? What would you buy, BlackRock or KKR? You know something, with BlackRock having 11.5 trillion under management, I think in my mind, I'm thinking BlackRock. Glenn is a fan of crypto. Nope, I'm not a fan of crypto. Rio Tinto is campaigning to open a significant lithium mine in Serbia versus Albania. Is also, I think lithium is just getting, I like lithium just like I like uranium. MSTR, we already talked about Alfreda. That goes into the Bitcoin side of things. That was one of my stories today. I doubt that Tesla has a lot of internal problems. You know, Tesla is just out. What I like about Elon Musk is that he's got his hands in a lot of profitable things, to include right now SpaceX. You saw the rocket, they grabbed it, and SpaceX is probably carrying things right now because it ain't the car. It ain't the robo-taxi. I keep hearing about how bad the robo-taxi event was. I think the whole space thing, and he could just be putting his energy there. I still like Elon Musk. I still like Tesla as a whole. I'm just playing it to the downside. A lot of executives quit this week leading up to the robo-taxi event. Listen, I still think that Tesla is still a fundamentally sound company. All right. What else is in my list today? What to stay away from? Natural gas. Stay away from the Chinese stock. There you go, Lisa. Lisa's been asking me, is it still good to be in the Chinese stocks? I think that the news that came out about them waiting on getting the money out for bolstering the economy, the stimulus hurt all those stocks. They were rocking until that news came out. Tesla's problem is he pissed off his customers by I'm not getting into that. You know me, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. All right, let me give you some fish before we look at your stocks. Clay is here, so I got a little bit more time. Clay, thank you for that. I got a little bit more time today. MPI, 1 day crossover, optionable. Take a picture. Look at that. Coin made the list, up 8.5%. That was even from an MPI perspective. Birkenstock, ain't that shoes or something? I don't know what that is. It's something fashion. I don't know. Anyway, take a picture of them. These are my MPI 1 days, my MPI enhanced. Stay away from, Prakash says, stay away from Chinese stocks. I said so. Listen, I was taking advantage of them while they were making money. I made a little bit of money on the Chinese move. Don't get me wrong. I did. I wasn't sure how I was going to like it long term, but I liked it for the standpoint I made a lot of quick money. Is it shoes? Birkenstock is shoes? I knew it was something. Amir says they did a reverse split. I'm Elon's fan. Prakash, you messing with me? I know somebody in here really hates Elon. Anyway, Alarm is on the move, up 20.73%. Let's go see if it's worth it. Let's go look at the stock graph. That's another MPI, but MPI enhanced. Look at that. I don't know if I'm ready to take it yet. Let's go. That's the 3.8. Let's go look at Star Search. Am I ready yet? Ooh, Alarm, Star Search after the pinch. Look at the break. I may like Alarm. I wouldn't put a ton of money behind it. But I like that play. I cannot lie. The last time it pinched, it broke to the downside. This time it's pinching. Keep your eyes on it. Pennywise says Alarm is on life support. Right now, Pennywise, open candle, no wick at the top, both DPOs. This could be an early, listen, this is for my aggressive people. And I know Jazz is a little bit more aggressive. I know he is. I would keep my eye on this. I'd look for follow through tomorrow in my Star Search. Now you see why I got three go-tos. Pennywise says I may get back into Alarm, but a much smaller. And I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I take a smaller position and I put a tighter stop. Jazz is in Alarm. Listen, I like the move, and guess what? The MPI found it. And it's a sell. The MPI found it. Ooh-wee. Talk about some fish, baby. You better fry it up. And if you do, you better give me a piece, because if not, I'm finna bum rush your house to go get me some fish. Mess around. All right, weekly custom blends picks. I'm not giving you those in the session because tonight's video, my top 5 weekly picks. Talking about my top 5 weekly picks, I'm gonna show you something. How many of you watched the Monday's videos, the Monday 6 p.m. videos religiously? Be honest. Type of 1. Stay in SoFi and take profits. Phyllis, right now, I would stay in SoFi. I'd keep a tight stop on it, though, because it is news-driven right now. Phyllis. So I wouldn't mind taking it. As a matter of fact, let me look at that again. I wouldn't mind taking it. SoFi. I know it's news-driven. Interesting. Phyllis, watch. It did break outside of the Bollinger Bands. Something tells me that it's going to have a propensity to pull back real quick. But I like it. Even on the pullback, it should stay in the fast lane. Even on the pullback, it should stay in the fast lane. All right. For those that watch my Monday's videos, every week about my top weekly picks, I want to show you something. Portfolios. I'm going to come back to this one in a second. Top 5 weekly picks. Told you I was going to work on this. Look at my equity curve, 7.99%. I need to add a new stock to my list today. You have to watch tonight's video to see what new stock I add today. But notice, double-digit winners on every stock. If you ain't watching the top 5 weekly picks for U.S. and Canada, you need to. That's all I got to say. Nobody can say, well, you never talked. I talked about these. These were in my 6 p.m. Monday videos. Anybody not happy with that? So when I put them in, they were all at 0. Now look at them. All double-digit wins. I am going to add a new stock to the list tonight. In order to know what it is, you need to watch tonight's 6 p.m. video. All right? Freaking AFL, I lost money on that one. Why? You got good time. All right, listen. What day was that? What day was that? Look at these. I still got 3 in here from 8/12. One from 9/9, and you're going to see a new one in here from 10/14. All right. Should you buy Palantir now? I'm a Palantir fan. Let's see the results ain't so good. And I don't have the Canada Open. You'll see the results when I do the video tonight. You'll see the results when I do the video tonight. I don't have the Canadian pick results. I'm only in the U.S. market. But tonight I will show it. And it ain't pretty. I ain't going to lie. It ain't pretty. I'm working on it, though. It ain't pretty. The Canadian market and the U.S. market are 2 different animals. They really, 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 really are. So I'm working on different means to find the Canadian stocks, and I will get them positive. All right? PGR and AFL, how will insurance stocks be impacted by the hurricanes? Listen, they're going to have to pay out a lot of money. They're going to have to pay out a lot of money, but with the hurricane season already being in play, let's take a look at those two. With the hurricane season already being in play, let's take a look at the graphs. Leveling out, all right? That's on a 3-month graph, leveling out. But they've already, look at all this run-up. That's what I'm banking on right now is the run-ups. And wow, Aflac is getting ready to come back into the fast lane. Glenn, are your candles 10-minute candles? It depends on what my time period is looking. When I'm looking at candles right now, this is end-of-day candles. These are end-of-day candles. I don't do a lot of real time in here. We do that in our jockey club, but all the candles I'm looking at right now are end-of-day candles. And I do like GigaCloud, G-Money. I do like GigaCloud. All right. Last thing I want to do is I want to get into your picks. Let's go into, so I didn't give any Glenn's picks here because they're going to talk about them in tonight's video. All right, weekly customer picks. All right, start typing them in. Now I need you to type them in. Type them in now. Are most VV people today members of the Jockey Club? Does it give away good secrets? I don't think most of the people in here are Jockey Club people. Some of the people in here are. SJM, the Jockey Club is on the VectorVest software. Give our product support staff a call if you want to learn more about the Jockey Club. How about that? DJ, now you want Dow Jones Transports. Bill, I'm gonna come back to that because I can't do it here. I got a watch list to look at there. All right. Remind me before we go, Bill. Remind me before we go. I did see that chat earlier, and I wanted to do that because you wanted to look at Dow Theory. All right. So I did see that. Win hymns. Janice is here. I'm not going to say anything bad about hymns. I'm not. George, I'm only going to take one of your picks so I can get more people's picks. Okay, George? I don't want you to think that I just picked your... How many likes did we get so far? 77? You know that means I'm only supposed to give you 7 stocks, right? You know that. I keep telling you, in order to get more picks, for every 10 likes, I give you a stock. That's all right. I'm still going to give you 10 stocks nonetheless. All right, here they are. Sorted by VST. NU is at the top. JM Schmucker is at the bottom. I've only got 2 stocks that have VSTs below 1. Fundamentally sound. NU is fundamentally sound. Abercrombie is fundamentally sound. I ain't saying nothing about hymns. because I don't want Janice yelling at me. I changed portfolio status, sold Bank of America, loaded up on TSM. Thank you, Glenn. Listen, it ain't me. It ain't me. It's the software. It's all about the software. It's all about the software. We know you love us. Alfredo, you know I do. I love all you people. Yes, I do. All right. Depends on if Clay gives me a little bit more some freedom today. I may look at another set of stocks for you. That's up to Clay. It's up to Clay. All right. All right, fine. Don't put any more stocks. I got enough up there. All right, I got enough up there. Do not, you heard me? Do not type in any new stocks. I'm going to look at some more of your stocks. So don't type any new stocks. All right. Let's graph these real quick. Let's go start off with a VectorVest layout. Let's keep it real. 1 year graph. So let me talk to you. Let me talk to you a little bit about my 3 go-to graphs. Do you like this stock long term? Bottom left, top right? Yes. Do I see volatility popping on board? Yes. So even though I like it long term, let's start off there. Even though I like it long term, is it worth it? Let me work it. Let me turn this around, flip it, and reverse it. So you know something? I lost trend twice. Back here, the MPI worked. Couple of times here. So now I would change graph layouts. Let's go to Star Search. Do I like Star Search? Oof. Got a little bit more volatility here as well. Maybe I go to 3-8 trade. I think that proves. Now I just went down the line. I think it proves that the 3-8 is a better workaround for this graph. Did everybody understand what I just did? Yes or no? I looked at all 3 graph layouts to find out which one was the best one for me to take a look at for this stock. Did everybody understand what I just did? Yes or no? And I need an honest answer because I think that the power of my top 3 go-to graphs is going to play an important role on you being able to know when to get in, know when to take profit, and know when to get out. All right, so would I get into new from a more aggressive position? Absolutely, the 3 and the 8 cross. Let's go back to Star Search. Again, I don't know if I want to play the volatility on there. Look at this. Doesn't spend a lot of time in the fast lane. And let's go back to the MPI. The MPI shows me that it lost trend a couple of times. Let's go to the next stock. This is the power of why you need to go back and watch the video from Friday if you haven't already. Let's go look at the next stock. And remember, these are on your stocks. Abercrombie, great long-term play. MPI would have been great back here. Now we get into all of this back and forthosity. Let's talk about another indicator we talked about in the series. Let's go look at the trend line. It's in a downtrend. Maybe I don't play it yet. All right, let's go to the MPI. I don't want to go to MPI. Let's go to Star Search. Not a lot of time recently in the fast lane. It is now, and it's pinching and breaking. More aggressive. I do like that. Let's go to 3 and 8. I got the 3-8 cross, but not going through the downtrend. Folks, that series that I've done for you, folks, I can't stress it enough. If you haven't watched the last video, that series I took you through should make everybody on this channel a better investor in the market. Clay is going to put it in as a playlist. Go look at them. Go look at them. SMCI, I'm going to hold off. I just said PacWest. Don't give me any new stocks right now. Now, long term, I do like that the earnings per share looks good. I don't think I'm ready to play it yet. And I do love that it's undervalued. I need the stock to come to me. All right, let's go put this. I'm going to love this analysis for every one of your stocks. Let's go to the next one. Hims, Janice, you still here? Man, this is all over the place. PacWest is all good. It's all over the place. I'm looking at it now. Let's go through the process. I don't think I'm going to like it on NPI. Yeah, I got no trend. Long term, I don't like this stock. All right? Shorter term, let's go for swing trade. Ooh, it's in the fast lane. Look at that big wick. That's a little bit of a shooting star. May not be the right play right now. Let's go look at the 3 and the 8. I like the move, but I don't like the big wick at the top. I like the move, but I don't like the big wick at the top. I do like long-term earnings per share. I love these graph layouts, folks. I love these graph layouts. All right, let's go back to... All right, so I can't do this for all of them. It'll take me way too much time. Win. Standard graph. All right, buy recommendation. I had purchased new when it was $4.50, got out when it was $6.30. I should hold it till... Listen, joy for it. It's all good. Listen, if you made money, I don't want to hear nobody ever complain about getting out of a stock. Ever. I don't want to hear it. You made money on the trade? That's a beautiful thing. Never want to hear, well, I should have. You should have, could have, would have. Hush. You made money? That's a good thing. Win. A little bit of a consolidation right now. Let's go look at the 3-8. I'm watching the 3 converging to the 8. I'd be careful with win. Let's go to the next one. Good. Googly muggly. IBM. That's the 3-8. That's the more aggressive way. Let's go look at Star Search. It's in the fast lane. Let's go look at MPI. Everything is telling me this is a good stock right there. Holy smokes. And again, folks, if you haven't watched the series, look at it. I got trend lines on here. I could put support. IBM is a great play. Long term, look at that trend moving up. We lost trend back here. How about, I can't even talk much more about it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. That's all I got to say. Star bulkers, no. That's all I got to say. Star bulkers, no. You're going to talk more about bum rushing now? I ain't bum rushing nobody. Who am I bum rushing? Here, but not in H. Oh, you're not in hymns? All right, Janice. Who am I bum rushing? Did I say anything about bum? Oh, I did. When I talked about the fish. If you didn't give me no fish, I was going to bum. Yeah, I did say. Glenn's playlist. Oh, look at that. Clay already put, if you didn't watch the playlist of all of the technicals videos, there it is right there. Why crowd is down today? Amir, I don't know. I know that I was bullish on crowd last week. All right. Also, not only on crowd, I picked up another cyber ETF called Bug. I don't know what happened with crowd today. I'd have to take a look at it. I have to take a look at it. Star brokers, no. I don't care what layout I look at. That stock is just moving down. All right. AEHR. Trade the chart, not your heart. This chart makes me want to. I can't say that. I'm not feeling that. Let's go. That's the simple graph. Let's go to Star Search. Interesting on Star Search. I'm not going to buy in a down day. Interesting. I don't know what the news was on it. This wasn't earnings. Oh, it was earnings. That was earnings. I'd be careful with it. Let's go to the 3-8. All right. If I'm not in it, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to break through 1662. That's a good level of resistance, even after earnings. Look at the big wicks. All right. Let's go real quick, get to these. Philip Morris. No. Trend lines. All right. Trend lines. Not feeling it. The 388 are waffling back and forth. I love the earnings per share, but not giving me a good opportunity to get in. Next one. Gilead. I'm on 3-month graph right now. Again, a little bit of sideways move here. Now we can stream Glenn all day long on our TV, says John Sai. I've been looking at the stocks with a 52-week descending, so I see the ones the most bigly priciosity. See news for crowd. I didn't see any news for CrowdStrike. Glenn, for your ETFs, do you dump if the 3 crosses below the 8, especially if they're contras? At least say yes. Contras tend to be shorter term plays unless the market is rocking to the downside. I normally will put a 3 and 8 on leverage. That's what I meant to say. On leverage contras. Oh, because I can lose a lot of money real fast. So normally on leverage contras, I will put a 3 and 8. All right. I don't know what the news is, Amir. Okay, there we go. Let's go next to last stock. schmuckers. Those schmuckers are schmucks. Can I say that? Is that a bad thing? It's below my trend line. Again, something we talked about in the series. Trend lines. Trend lines support resistance. No, I'm not ready. The 3 is below the 8. Look at that. All right. How many of y'all like the idea of what I just did looking at your picks? I love that idea, tying in all of the stuff that I've talked about in general. All right. So, Glenn, friendly reminder, doubt. Yeah, I'm going to look at. Good. Let's go there first. Let's go to overview. No, S&P. Where's my special watch list? No, I don't want that. Don't I have? Where is it? Overview watch list. No, S&P watch list. Where's my? It is special. Where is my doggone? Oh, there it is. DJ watch list. Let's go transportation. There we go. Let's go see if I can look at the list. Watch list average. Here's your Dow theory. That's just the transportations. You know something? I'm gonna show you something. Trend line broke through the downtrend from that high. The 3 and the 8 just crossed. There you go, Bill. I like the play. Not only that, I got higher lows. I had a little bit of a wedge. We broke out of it. There's your Dow theory, Bill. There's your Dow theory. This is just looking at the Dow Jones transportation. There's your Dow theory. I showed you the news that the Dow is just going up and up and up and up. There's your Dow theory. All right. Mr. Matt says, now we get to see the real date. Yeah, this is the real Dow DJT. There you go. All right. Let's go back to graphs. Again, don't give me any stocks. I'm going to go back up in the list. Let me go back up in the list. Let me go look at, here we go. SAP, comma, CCJ, comma, oh, snap. Amazon. Didn't we look at Amazon? I don't know. Amazon, comma. How many likes did we get? We almost got 100. So CDNS, comma. Did I not put Meta up there? META, comma. Somebody wanted to look at SMCI, comma. Somebody wanted to look at CrowdStrike, comma. I'll put up CRM, comma. What else? I got Crowd up there. All right. Here we go. How many stocks did I look at for you today? A lot. A freaking lot. We got over 100. There we go. We got over 100. There we go. Because if I didn't, I was finna yell. At all of you. All right. Let's go put this on a 1-year graph starting off with the, wow. All right. Real quick. Based upon my 3 go-tos, what graph would I use? Type it in the room. What graph would I use? You guys are learning my go-to graphs. Which graph would I look at for this stock? Type it in the room. What did Mac Daddy say? Glenn is a master. Best on YouTube. Well, thank you for that, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I ain't a master. I'm just a guy. No, not JP. Shut up, John. Dave, I'm with Dave. Could I use Star Search? Yes. But what is this? That's a good trend. Bottom left, top right. Right? So let's start off with the MPI. Again, if I got a good trending stock, MPI is the way to go. Trend, even on the fallback. Trend. MPI is really good for trending stocks. Now, could I put this on Star Search? Spend some time in there in the fast lane. But you know something? The MPI would have kept me in longer, right? On a good trending stock, MPI does a really good job keeping you in. Let's go to the 3 and the 8. We're going to probably get a lot of ins and outs here. Does everybody understand what I just said? The MPI is really good for trending stocks. All right? Swing trades up and, more up than down. Star Search, More aggressive, bouncy stocks, 3-8. Let's go look at the next stock. Let's go look at the next stock. Notice that this is a little bit more choppy, right? On a 1-year graph. Remember, this is a little bit more choppy. I don't know if I want MPI, especially with what's going on right now. Let's try Star Search. And the whole idea is to make sure that this, whatever I'm looking at, keeps me in at the right time. Currently, there we go. We're good. We went down below. How about we're getting back into the fast lane again? I can also use the 3-8 here. Look at that. 3-8 cross. Look at that, baby. Woo. 3-8 cross back here. Look at that. Broke through resistance. Again, one of the things that we've talked about in the series. Even on the pullback, the 3-8 holding. Let's go to the next one. Same thing. Kind of choppy. Back here, MPI would have been great. Then it got choppy. 3-8 got me in 9.13. Earnings is bad, but getting less bad. Look at his holding. The 3 and the 8. How about Star Search? Look at that. Star Search is like in and out a little bit. 3-8. 3-8 is a little bit more solid on those choppier stocks. Let's go to the next one. Whew. What graph am I using right here? I'm gonna go straight to MPI. Going straight to MPI. Look at that. Trend. Woo! Trend got beat. We got trend again. Maybe this is a little iffy. Now let's go to Star Search. Still a little iffy. Let's go to 3-8. Look at that. 3-8 would have got you out, got you back in. I'm loving these layouts. Now you know why. Now you know why these are my go-to graphs. Let's start off with MPI on this one. MPI, trend, big bounce. MPI stopped working. All right, let's go to Star Search. Yeah, at least I now know that these are shorter term trades based upon the graph. Let's go to 3 and 8. Again, in, out, but the graph is showing me that. What's up, Furby? The graph is showing me that. All right, couple of more stocks. I don't know if I'm going to look at all of these. Oh, I like that Meta. What does that look like? That looks straight like MPI. I got more trend right now. Look at the trend line I drew here. Yep. Right now it's moving a little bit sideways, but trend is in play. Let's go to the next one. SMCI. SMCI's got to be 3.8. It's got to be 3.8. And look at that SMCI. We can't get above this level of 48.17. There we go. We talked about trend lines in here. We talked about support resistance. I can't break through this resistance. I don't care what nobody says about it. I was trying to get bullish on it. I just can't. All right. Real quick, next one. I like crowd. I don't know what. And look at that, Amir. It's 1 day. It's in a trend. Earnings is rising. Oh, don't get all hippy-tippy on me, Amir. Look at this. It's in a trend. Trend line is here. Right? Let's go to Star Search. It's just 1 down day. Trend is up. I'm in the fast lane. I'm not scared about it. It's 1 day. What did John say? Meta is a great one to play with option strategy. A badge of honor at John. All right. And maybe one more. Yep, one more. CRM. I like the fast. Ooh-wee. Look at that. Right at resistance, though. Can't break through. I love the upward trend. I love the fast lane. I love the 3.8 probably. Look at that, but right at resistance. So would I buy it now? Nope. I got to get above that level of 290.16. Clay, put me on my last screen, please. Yes, I went over a little bit today. Clay gave me up. One with GT. The one with GT. Yep. If you liked the session today, don't forget to hit the like button. If you like the action we had today, hit the like button. I loved being able to incorporate Friday's video into the analysis of your stocks. Those are my 3 go-to graphs. And I walk through your stocks to help you present which graph is the best ones for you to jump on board with. All right. Sound, I looked at a lot of stocks today. Don't get mad at me if I don't go look at Sound today. All right, please. I looked at a lot of stocks today. We got over 117. We almost got 120 likes. Thank you for that, folks. Thank you for Mac Daddy says, highlight of my day so far. That is awesome. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel good. What is the highest number the MTI have you ever seen? I got to go back and look. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. Some of that stuff I should have written down. Some of that stuff I really should have written down, but I don't know. Thanks for the session, Glenn and Clay. Thank you, Clay, for being here today as well. All right, don't forget to watch tonight's video. Every Monday at 6 p.m. is my top weekly picks for both the U.S. and Canada. You saw the portfolio, how the portfolio is doing with those picks. I will add a new stock. If you want to know what that stock is, you have to watch tonight's video. All right? Best way to learn the software correctly. Thank you for that, G-Money. Mr. Matt says, thank you, Glenn. Happy early Thanksgiving. That's in November. We're just halfway through October. Sigh. But thank you. Glenn, I have the VV live streams on my Outlook calendar. Way to go, John. Edwin, are you in Louisiana or something? I love that last name. Let me see. Gibayo. Did I say that right? Gibayo. Just type a yes or a no. Type a yes if I did it right. Type a no if I jacked it up something terrible. Oh, it's Canadian Thanksgiving. Oh, okay. There you go. Demi Obey says he's loud. Listen, I Gibayo. Janice, did I say that right? Janice has got that kind of last name too. Oh, I did. Woo. There you go. That's right. Go Yankees. No, go Yankees. Go Yankees. All right, folks, I got to go. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Praying for everyone across the world, especially those that just got hit by 2 hurricanes in 2 weeks. Odabo. Bom dia. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Yasu. Until the next time, folks. See ya.